Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing another collective and timeless reading to see what our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to share with us as guidance, as messages from the divine. So let's see what they have to tell us today. Queen of Wands. Okay, stepping into your power. Queen of Wands does not hold back. She has the ability to create, to inspire, to flourish in what she does best, in her creative pursuits, in her passion, in her inspiration. So I like this energy for you. Let's get some more cards here. Oh. I'm not sure. I think we're just going to keep shuffling. They're flipping over crazy. Okay. It came back out anyway. So there you go. That's confirmation right there. Six of Pentacles. So maybe you're going to be receiving some more assistance, especially financially, with whatever it is that you are trying to pursue and create right now, whatever you're trying to manifest. Could be a creative project or even just something that's following your creative pursuits, your creative inspiration. And maybe also it's just that energy is what you're learning how to channel and give back to your community in that way. Reverse Temperance. That's interesting. Okay. Not sure about Reverse Temperance here. Let's get some more cards before we keep going. Ten of Cups. There we go. This is definitely the key to your happiness here. And Two of Cups. Wow. Wowee. So yeah. Belonging, friendship, love, companionship. I'm seeing it all here for you, but I'm not sure about this Reverse Temperance here. It's kind of throwing me off. Maybe it's that you are sort of not seeing the picture of how you're going to get from point A to point B. Yeah. There's sort of a lack of integration here going on with, like, you're struggling with the balance of keeping this, like, there's two balancing cards here, right? Temperance and the Six of Pentacles. And I think of the Temperance card as very alchemical, right? It's that he's upright, he's combining these liquids in the cup, right? And he has one foot in the ground, one foot in the water. So he's in between two worlds. He's perfectly balanced between them. Maybe that's what this is about, is that you've been in between for a long time. In between two states where you were sort of in the state of thinking up ideas, trying to get the money to make something happen, making things come into balance, because we also have the scales there, right? Trying to figure out how financially you can make your ideas come to life. And it was kind of a block for you for getting to this other life that you want to create through those means. But now, because you're kind of moving into a new stage with that, you're moving into that life, the in-between stage is sort of ending, and maybe that's something that brings you a bit of discomfort. Maybe it's something that makes you feel a little uneasy because you can sense that things are changing. Maybe you don't see how. Oh, okay, yeah. So maybe it's sort of like, because the Queen of Wands is very independent here, right? She makes her own destiny, and she's got it all figured out. She's got everything she needs. She's got her sunflower. She's got her cat. She's totally content. She has it all that she wants, right? And she has financial support. So she has what she wants, and she feels like this life is all that she needs. But then there's this other side of things where she could be sharing her life with someone, right? But I think you struggle with making both those things a reality because you see them as opposing. You think if you have someone else that you share your life with, that you're enmeshed with, and well, not mesh sounds like it's bad, but like you've created a life together, which is, can be a good thing, but sometimes when you want to be independent, that sounds like a trap. So you're struggling with this. You're not integrating those two ideas together because you see them as, if I have this thing, I'll give up this. If I have a loving relationship, yes, that'll be great, but I won't have that independent life that I also want. Yeah. That's tough. I get that. That's a tough one because how do you reconcile that, right? There's going to be compromises, right, when you live a life with someone else, but maybe it's trying to tell you, let's get one more card here. Maybe it's going to be the case that you're seeing it as something that can't integrate, but actually it can. You can have it all. Ace of Cups, but it was reversed here. Yeah. So it's like you think that if you accept this kind of life and opportunity, it's going to drain your cup. The cup's going to tip over and all of your hard-won sense of fulfillment and emotional awareness, like all the things you worked hard to get independently is going to go out the window, right? So I think that's a bit of a struggle for you. I think you're struggling with that. Because look, both cups, because he's got cups and it's reversed and the cups are tipping out the water, right? And the same is here. You're afraid that you don't see how you can integrate these two ways of being, that you can be independent while having a relationship. But I think you can. I think it's trying to say, yeah, you can actually. And they're trying to deliver this opportunity for a new emotional life, a new emotional awakening, but it's being blocked by the fact that you're resisting it. Because again, there's two cups here, right? The Two of Cups. It's like the two cups here in Temperance. Yeah, that's what's. Okay, so let's see what we can do here about this issue. So yeah, it won't happen for us if we're resisting it, but maybe this is important. Maybe this is something you do have to embrace. Maybe this is something you have to experience you have to have, but yet you're trying to block out that experience. And maybe this actually will bring you that independence and financial reward that you're looking for, but you think you have to go it alone. You think that if you have this shared life that it's not going to happen for you, but not embracing that opportunity, that new thing coming in for you might be the problem. Again, I don't want to tell you what to do, but maybe just be open. Be open to something. Maybe you don't have it all figured out. Maybe you don't have it, because maybe past experiences are really kind of screwing you up here for seeing how you could have a good life. Maybe you've just really gotten it in your head that you have to be independent. And that's okay. You can live that life, but there might also be a shared destiny with someone that is really good. And maybe it can be great. Maybe it's not what you think it's going to be. It's hard because there's so much influence out there for, you hear other people's stories. You hear And we tend to only hear the negative. We never hear the positive, right? So that really makes it tough to visualize something positive happening to you as well, especially we're just absorbing all the negative all the time. So maybe a crystal card could show us what we should do in this situation. Should we stay independent? And should we embrace the love? This opportunity for, and it doesn't even have to be love. It could just be like community, right? Opening yourself up to community and friendship and bonds. Yeah. Sharing your life with someone, for sure. Amber. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see what Amber has to say. There's so many crystals, I can't keep them all straight. Healing family patterns, releasing karma, preserving the wisdom gained by the lessons of the past. So maybe you've had a tough family life that has really screwed you up for relationships. Because sometimes that can happen, right? Like family trauma, family wounds can really block us from having important connections in our life, and also just connecting with our family as well. Like sometimes we can hang on to past hurts and anger, and like we can't move on, we can't heal from it. You know, it doesn't mean that we have to forgive people for doing bad things to us. It's just that we can't let it control us forever, right? And there's something, you know, to be said for the knowledge and wisdom gained from going through those experiences. It's, you know, lessons about love, lessons about forgiveness, about resilience, and our power to leave behind the old and embrace the new. So maybe it's not necessarily about you have to go heal your family relationships, but maybe it's saying we can understand ourselves better through examining those familiar relationships and seeing what kind of strength and wisdom we have gained from that. I think mainly it's about, you know, asking yourself what is your story of wounding? What is your story that you tell yourself about your own victimhood, maybe as a result of family or that you grew up in, or just your family legacy, right? Can you retell your story as one of love rather than one of hurt? This does mention, I actually want to read this passage here. It says, how beautiful is it to alchemically change the experience of family? And we have the, excuse me, and we have the card here of alchemy, right? Although it's in reverse. So maybe it's that, you know, that's the thing you got to work on, is alchemically changing that story. Because maybe that's why you resist. Because maybe you're on the path to have found family here, but, or just like new family in general. But you're sort of resisting it because of these past stories of your own childhood, your own wounding, your own victimhood. But you need to alchemize that story into one where you come out the person that chooses love anyway, right? Mm. And the universe, like, the universe can send you love and new family, right? But if we're closed off to it because of we're scared of things repeating from the past, you know, we're going to miss that opportunity, or we're going to miss the chance to have a new story, rewrite our story, right? And friends even can be like our family, right? Really good friends. So Yeah. Don't discount the opportunity to have new relationships, new love in your life, right? Maybe just think about family that's around you. If you don't have any family, maybe think about who could be in your life if you let them. Think about the family that you do want to be in your life. Love will always show up for you. The universe is always going to bring you love and the opportunity for love. It's going to make sure that you have what you need. But you have to receive it. You have to take it, right? Yeah. I think overall it's just, there's a story about hurt here that needs healing. And that's all within you, right? That's your story. And it's going to be what you allow it to be. Okay, I'm going to take out an archetype card here. Yeah. Maybe we can get some ideas about what this wound, this struggle is about, that we're dealing with, this thing that we have to forgive. The Siren. Interesting. But we also had the riddle here. I think they're saying just the riddle and the siren, so I'm going to take it. I think there's a lot of mysteries about your past and about the things that are tripping you up now are sort of like old programs and wounds, but they're a riddle to even yourself. Like you struggle to understand them within yourself. Like it's not clear cut. So there's sort of like a siren call here calling you to find those answers, right? Because the siren, like, it allures you with its song, right? But I also think it's like this new life that's calling to you. Something is drawing you in. And you're being pulled forward whether you realize it or not. So the unfolding of your journey is going to be understanding that riddle within yourself. Understanding, your own traumas, the things that are holding you back. Because I think maybe you have an idea of what has hurt you in the past, but I don't know if you completely understand how it affects your life, how it affects your thinking, how it affects your actions. I don't know that you have completely understood the depth of that. Yeah, because the siren dives deep into the ocean, right? Maybe it's, you got to look into that cup. You got to turn it over and see what's inside, right? Look into your heart. See what's happening inside. I think there's things also, it's like in your past, but also your past lives as well. There's something there. Like your life in this life is often you repeat things from old lives that you didn't complete. Like you didn't complete the lesson, or the lesson didn't go as planned. So you kind of get a new chance. And sometimes when we're in a family where there's a struggle or where we have these traumatic experiences, sometimes it's because we have to clear up old karma, old lessons, that need to be rewritten. A story that needs to be rewritten. So there might be some aspects like that where those things might come up to the surface for you, and it might be tricky, but I think you can handle it. I think you can. It might be what you're kind of avoiding. Yeah, you're a bit avoidant about this, facing this. Yeah. I'm just looking through the book here. The siren takes us into a deep psychic descent, so that makes sense, right? You're looking into something within you, right? And our courage must be rallied, right? To learn our lessons. Yeah, and it mentions the call, right? The call is what takes us in deep, right? It's the thing that draws us. So it's not even our choice. We have to go face it. It's in our destiny. Gosh, I don't know what I did to my hand, but I've got a sore muscle in my thumb. And it's actually hurting to grip the boxes. Yeah, maybe an old wound is tripping you up. Well, I think that's pretty obvious here, isn't it? Yeah. Sore muscles that need to be worked out. Muscle memory is what I'm coming to mind now. So maybe you're kind of operating on muscle memory. Like you've had a lot of patterns that have stuck with you for a long time. So you're just kind of always operating on impulse, but now is the time to dig those things up and figure out what we have to do to work out that muscle, to get it to relax and to let in something new. And we have compassion here. So ultimately, this isn't something you have to do forcefully. It's something you have to do with compassion for yourself. Self-compassion is key here. Archangel Zadkiel, soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So compassion for your family, but especially for yourself. It's not easy to face this, especially when other people haven't grown. Like they're still doing all the old things that, are immature or, that hurt you. And maybe it's, a time to just take a stand and voice our feelings clearly and honestly, but with love. And that's all we can do. If they go their own way, they go their own way. But remember who you are. Archangel Michael. You're a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. Yeah. You are someone who is loved, and you are someone that deserves a happy life. And I think maybe whatever situations you were in growing up kind of made you unlearn that. Made you forget that you're someone that deserves a happy life and a happy future. Kind of froze you, kind of put you into a state of, well, that's for other people, but not for me. I think that's getting rewritten now because it's not what you deserve. But you have to use your courage to go deep into these wounds, to not avoid it, not block it out, to face it. To see what needs to be seen, to let what needs to be heard be heard. Yeah. You can't let yourself be silent in this. The siren has a siren call, right? She sings. She sings her truth. I'm going to take a Yule card here as well. So, with respect to this situation, what is our best course of action here? can we do with, if this is regarding family, what can we do to resolve this? These old wounds that are blocking us from our happy future, right? Gratitude. All that I am and all that I will be, forever in gratitude, I'll be eternally. So yeah, having gratitude always helps us. It always helps us to see what we have in the face of lack, right? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to see those things when we feel like we've been without. And we've been, robbed of things even because of, our family circumstances. But having gratitude can really put things into perspective, right? It can help us to be aware that even despite if everything goes wrong, there's still things that we have. There's still things that we're so happy to have despite everything. And it shifts our perspective. It shifts our attitude. It shows us how the cup is full, not how it's empty, right? And, with family, there are good things, right? There are good moments. And there are things that helped you become who you are, right? Even if it was all bad, it's like it taught you to be a strong person. It taught you to be who you are today, which, maybe you're someone who doesn't like yourself, but I think if you're someone that's facing these things, you're a very strong person. You're very brave and you're very resilient. And those are really amazing qualities that they're not easily obtained. They're hard won. So even despite how you may have been hurt, it may have helped you become who you are today, which is a good thing. Despite all that, you want to be who you are, right? And oftentimes, when we're in the soul group of our family before we're all incarnated here, we agree to do certain things. And sometimes, your family agrees that they're going to do these certain things to you, or they're going to be a certain way with you that, might seem really unfair, but it helps you get into the role that you're meant to be in. And if you're stepping into something like this where it's a brilliant future for you, maybe you wouldn't have got there necessarily if you hadn't had those challenges along the way. Ooh. It's like a little pop outside, like a firework or something. Yeah, I'll take that as confirmation. But yeah, maybe that's the eureka, that if you see it in that way, that even though I really am angry with my family about certain things, I am grateful that I was able to become the person I am today. Having that gratitude, despite everything, might help you to resolve those feelings just enough so that you can get into this energy, right? Where you can be a little more receptive to the things that want to come in for you, which is new family, new love. It's probably hard for you to form new bonds if you're still clinging to this energy, even if it's like a rejecting energy, right? You're still connected, you're still enmeshed, right? But I think once you let go, everything will come in for you. And part of letting go is just sending it off with gratitude and love, right? And maybe you are going to separate from family because you're going to find new family soon. And it's better things resolve this way. It's better things resolve with love than with, hurt feelings, right? Cold moon, yeah. So maybe you were treated very coldly in the past, and that makes you want to act cold. But I think, if you leave things on cold terms, where it's not resolved, I think that might stick with you longer. And that might not be a burden you want to take with you on this new path. You don't want to bring your, your baggage into a new relationship or a new foundation. Yeah, it literally says, release me. Take with thee the dreariest of moments, release me for their tongue, and nourish me with light. Nourished with light. That's bringing in that energy of gratitude. She's literally got it right there, the light in her chest where she's praying. She's feeling that love and light. That's how you dispel the darkness, with light, not by running from the darkness, not by avoiding the darkness. Bringing love into the situation, compassion, even if they don't deserve it in your mind. Bring your self-compassion and release yourself from this burden. Release yourself from holding on to this anger and this hurt, and a whole new life will be opened up for you. Yeah. Okay. It seems kind of funny now to say it, but I will mention the crystal here. It's Aragonite, and it's a crystal about softening your harsh emotions about things, and I think that's really relevant to this reading after everything that turned out. Yeah, so maybe that crystal could help you, or help you, yeah, with quieting those emotions of anger. Or just not even quieting, because you don't want to stuff it down, but like softening it with love. And we have the buffalo here as well. Just sturdy, strong, reliant. Maybe it's that energy of independence that you've really cultivated, and he's got these horns for defense, but maybe it's time to let the buffalo be a little softer, a little gentler, a little bit more able to let in those tender feelings, those vulnerable feelings. Because that's what you want. That's what you want to have in your life, is that ability to be soft and be tender with those you love. And it's probably where this hyper independence comes from, is feeling like that wasn't something that was safe to have. Not feeling safe to be vulnerable and soft in a family that was very cold towards you. But that's what you gotta heal if you want to move on to a new life, is softening that mentality and those old programs. Getting them to release it to the light. Maybe do, a ceremony, a ritual to release that energy, or even praying for the guidance to release that anger and that hurt would really help you. Sometimes in our dreams, we can be helped, right? Our guides can help us. So yeah, embrace your future. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. So I hope you liked this video, and if you want, you can leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment if you feel inclined. You can always do that and show how the video resonated. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. All right, take care of yourself.